A record number of Canadian families can't even afford to buy basic groceries. Rent has gone through the roof, and the dream of home ownership has vanished for millions. Millions more are struggling just to keep the heat on, and the Prime Minister's solution is to triple the carbon tax on home heating. The Prime Minister needs to take responsibility for his actions. He needs to recognize the pain that he's causing, so why doesn't he do the right thing and just axe this destructive carbon tax?
The Honourable Minister for Families.
Mr. Speaker, one thing is clear, that over the last 7 years, this government has been there for Canadians. In fact, from 2015 to 2020, poverty in Canada reduced by 2.7 million Canadians. That's 782,000 children, 178,000 seniors. And you know what happened in 2015, Mr. Speaker? The government changed. The Liberals were elected and the Conservatives were out. Seems like something happened. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable Member for Chilliwack Hope.
I'll tell you what's happened, Mr. Speaker, is millions of Canadians are using food banks every month, and this Liberal government brags about their record. People can barely afford to keep a roof over their heads and put food on their tables, and now the Prime Minister's solution to 40-year highs in inflation is to triple the carbon tax and raise prices even more on things as basic as their home heating. So why won't the Prime Minister finally take responsibility for his actions? Stop blaming everyone else, do the right thing, and axe this carbon tax.
The Honourable Minister for Tourism.
After 8 years in opposition, the Conservatives seem to have not figured out that catchphrases and buzzwords don't actually improve the lives of Canadians. And Mr. Speaker, even worse, their ideology forces them to vote against things that improve the lives of Canadians. They voted against reducing taxes on Canadians. They voted against childcare. They voted against supports for businesses. Mr. Speaker, they vote against just about everything. While they oppose, we deliver. That's our job.
Who's misleading Canadians, Mr. Speaker? The Liberal government. When they say 8 out of 10 Canadians are going to get more in the carbon tax rebate than they get back. Reality, Canadian farmers get pennies on the dollar in return for the Liberals' farcical carbon tax rebate program. Canadian farmers can't afford fuel, fertilizer, or feed. And when we lose Canadian farms, that impacts every Canadian family who is struggling to put food on the table. Is the Prime Minister prepared that Conservatives will keep the heat on and take the tax off?
All week long, no doubt all session long, you're going to hear ideological talking points, buzzwords, and the latest catchphrases from the leader of the Conservative opposition's Twitter. But, Mr. Speaker, what you will not hear from them is any plan. No plan on climate change. No plan to help on affordability. No plan to actually build the economy and get to prosperity for all Canadians. Mr. Speaker, they can keep tweeting. We'll keep delivering. That's our job.
The member for Cumberland Colchester.
We do have an ideology on this side. That's to stand up for Canadians. And after 8 years of spending, this Liberal government is out of money and Canadians are out of patience. Let me cite a few examples of their crazy spending, sir. $2 billion, $2 billion with a B, to a company that doesn't even exist. $100 million to the Liberal friends and, of course, to their buddies at McKinsey. Also, up to $750 million, sir, to a company that is now going out of business and shutting its doors. When will this government stop spending and give Canadians a chance to thrive?
The Honourable Minister.
I see once again we have to set the record straight, and when it comes to standing on the side of Canadians and knowing who has invested through the pandemic and after in the lives of Canadians, it is this Liberal government who has done it. What did the Conservatives do when we put in childcare? How did they vote? They voted against. What happened when we tried to increase the workers' benefit, Mr. Speaker? They voted against. What happened when we improved supports for seniors, Mr. Speaker? They voted against. We vote for, they vote against. We're here for Canadians.